Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming at you from another video of Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourself and then a positive start to wherever you are in the world. We're back on my account and we're going to test a new gemstone that I received from Chimera. I'm going to talk about the goods and we're going to talk about the bads. And this is a P versus E gemstone that I was really lucky enough to get my hands on, and pretty happy about it for sure. So what gemstone are we talking about and what are we testing? We need to go into here, Grim. We're talking about the one and only Boss Slayer. Now, I did receive Boss Slayer from Chimera last week. This was booked, I think, to about 3 weeks ago, and it was fixed with one or two more relics. So I did with the gemstones on the circle side as well. This was a massive pull for me. This is probably the only thing I would always wanted from P vs E. A few more for Hydra would be amazing though, Plarium, so make sure we get that job sorted for sure. Either way, I'm really happy about this, and it was super strong, and I can't really complain about this for sure. So why is this going to be amazing? Well, this is going to be amazing because it's going to increase my damage by 10% against bosses, and there is more consistency now with my damage. Now, I did get new personal best. It wasn't a lot of personal best, but there was a lot of RNG into the factor. And now, if you want to see any of the builds on all the other champions in today's video, I'll drop the video down on the original team that I released about a month ago. The only thing that's really changed is the Marius build, which you'll be able to see in today's video, and obviously the relics as well on my Marius as well. That is the only thing that's really changed from that video. So if you're looking for the other forward builds, you can find it in there, and I'm also going in detail about the trials I'm looking for as well. There is a couple of videos where I'm talking about the 9-piece merciless as well that we're using, which was upgraded from the 6-piece Slayer overall, so you can also drop that out. Go check that out as well. I will put that one in the description as well for today's video. Definitely a lot of information to take in, so you'll need to put up your feet. Put me on that TV. About 11% of my viewers last week watched me on a TV, which is pretty nice to know. A big shout out to the YouTube side for that. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky enough to own all of these mythical gemstones now. I guess I do need to do a bit more testing and stuff like that to kind of do more videos on them. I don't really have any other gemstones other than circular mythical ones, so I would like a bit more of upgrades for that. So let's go into today's run, and I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to go through trials or anything like that. Again, it's in another video which you can go ahead. I don't want to make this video too long, so please try and be nice. Let me know down in the comments, what is your personal best on Ultra Nightmare for Chimera or Nightmare overall, all breathing brutal. I know everyone that's not even hitting these numbers. And what is your personal best damage in Hydra Clash? Chimera Clash, and what champions are you using? And what videos would you like me to cover in the future, talking about Chimera and free champions or champions in general? I have released a Ultra Nightmare one key team with 5 trials as well last week, so go ahead and check that out. I also will drop that in the description of today's video. So let's go into it and we'll talk about it. So this is this week's one. I have a YouTube video with the 9-piece merciless without the boss slayer as well, so we can compare before and after, and we can kind of look at it. And I want to show you one or two things as well. So this is going to be the interesting stage, and then we'll play the run throughout the whole with some music, and then we'll come back, look at the build, and see if there's any way that we can increase our damage even more on this Mr. Marius overall. So let me go ahead and make sure there's some volumes off. I'm going to skip through all, and I want to look at the Marius nuke from the A1. Not the A1, sorry, the A2. Now, as far as I'm aware of, I don't think the boss layer is meant to work on the A2 because the enemy max HP hits. So I'm not mistaken if it's meant to work or not with that. I need to kind of ask Plarium, because I don't think it's meant to work with the A2. I think it's only meant to work with the A1. So I'm not too sure about that. But I will say this week, my damage with Marius was way more consistent. So like sometimes he was hitting like 800, 900k, and then sometimes he'd go to like 1.3. This week in this run, he was averaging between 1 all the way to about 1.4 billion through his A2. Sorry, million, not billion, on his 8-2. So that was one thing that I want to take into consideration. Again, you can watch this video in today's video, and then I'll drop the other video which we're going to compare in a minute in the description. You can go check it out and look at the evidence yourself, right? Trying to bring you the evidence so you can kind of look at as. I will say in this run, I was actually really unlucky. I don't feel like I got much merciless procs on the extra turns, or even with like the 8-2 as well with the cooldown. So that is one thing to kind of look at in today's video, and I feel like I didn't get much more from Necrid, from Negmo as well. So they are the two things that I would want to kind of put in. I do want to kind of look at the damage from the marius, so we'll just wait for this. We should have a nuke available at some point. Defense down and weaken needs to be down, obviously, to kind of compare. So you'll see here, we'll look at this, and then we'll have a little look overall. So we do have like 9-piece merciless protection as well. So he's not ready with that. You do see a cooldown though, which was nice there. So I'm hoping we can kind of see the comparison, please. Where's the damage? We just need to see a nuke. Maybe we start at the beginning. That would be a good idea. I don't think I could speed this up either way. So this is looking pretty interesting. I can say at the start as well that the damage was much higher, but that might have been merciless, to be honest. But even so, the boss layer with the dryos. So you'll see there 900k, 1.2, 952. Now I ran this team around about 5 or 6 times, and it was way more consistent. I didn't get the trials I wanted on RAM, so I had to run it a few times for sure. And then we can have a look. If we go through, let's go through the run. We can see that we can kind of compare for this. Now I did screw up a lot on this run for the rotations as well. Being honest. We're looking for the marius nuke. Now we're looking on the ultimate form because I feel like we always hit a bit harder on the non-ultimate forms. And then let's have a look here. Play this. My video is always in 2x. It's like, yeah, you can't see the extra turn. Are you ready? I'm always careful of the run, so it's like so slow and so yeah. Alright, there you can see. So this was like 3 million, 3.1, which is on the low end of the run, right? It's on the low end of the hits, but I feel like it's more consistent. So we have the start of the run in this one, in this video, and you'll see here. So we got marius here. There is a way for me to slow this down. Autoplay. Normal speed. Let's go extra slow. That's extra slow, right? So you'll see here. Screwed up with that, but the increased defense doesn't do anything with the damage. So you can see there, the third hit was 787k. I used to see that a lot within this run, right? So that's me being honest. I used to see that a lot with the cat gaze, which was always a little bit annoying. I don't know why the damage fluctuation happens so much. I think it's only because it's a certain percentage of the cat gaze to proc. So the boss layer, I feel like we are doing way more damage overall. So it's pretty nice. I will again leave both videos in the links, and you guys can kind of compare and slow this down and have a look at how much the boss slayer is doing way more. I do feel like the RNG in this run is way better for the 9-piece merciless, if I'm being honest. So it wasn't much more damage fluctuation for sure. So we will play this run now on full auto. It will be on 5x speed, so please make sure you check it out, and you could again slow it down just the way I did, and then we'll come back and look at the build and look at the damage and compare from the week before for sure. yeah, pretty overall, very happy with the build and big improvement for sure. Marius coming in 172 million. Again, once we got the 6-star blessing, we'll be able to do a bit more. We can lower the speed a bit more, or he will have the extra speed anyway. So maybe the extra speed will help him. It's quite a bit, to be honest. So you can see here we have 172 million. My bad, sorry. 172 million from Marius. And if we come here, we can see here we did 14 trials, which was pretty nice. I think in that other video we only did 12, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple of mistakes. In Hydra Clash, we're now doing 4.1 billion, which is much more nicer. We do have a new personal best of 225.09, but our personal best before that was 216 with the same builds and etc. Overall as well. So it's pretty nice, and you can see here, because I don't have the video evidence of the new personal best, of the old personal best, this is what we was getting. We was getting a 3.41 billion on Ultra Nightmare. We did get insanely lot of procs on this run with the Merciless, especially towards the end. I didn't record this because there was no reason for me to record it or anything like that. And then we did have the Ultra Nightmare as well. Sorry, the Nightmare was a new personal best of 3.25. Now, this does 14 trials on Ultra Nightmare, 15 on Ultra Nightmare if you don't have Cardiel, because it's probably the hardest one. Out of all these champions, you can actually use Ferrocon and Fat, which will give you 2 more trials of 17. But I think the damage is a bit more lower. And it's a bit harder to run because you're doing more trials, which means you're getting more problems. And I will make a video at some point on Ferrocon and Fat. I don't have the patience to run that team, if I'm being honest, because I like the idea of having 2 block boss and a revive on death, etc. So that's how I kind of feel about that. So overall, so let's have a look at the total stats of the Marius then, and kind of show you what's going on here. And again, if you want to see anyone else in the video, please go ahead and check it out. So this is the build 9-piece Slayer. Again, sorry, 9-piece Merciless. At some point, I will do a video comparing Merciless with Slayer. Let me know down in the comments if you're interested in that type of content for the Chimera for this team, and might be a kind of cool video to see. I can get roughly the same stats with that. So we're coming in at a speed of 270. Now we will need to take into consideration I have 6-star Timber Presence on a 19% speed aura, which will give me much more. We do have a little bit more critical damage because I cut the cat gaze from level 3 to level 4, which also does help a little bit as well for the damage. But I do feel that the damage was way better in this. We're coming in at 402 critical damage overall, and then the defense is coming in at 6,448, and then fairly good HP. We're not worried about accuracy. Whatever accuracy we can get, it's just a bonus from end of the day, just from like cleansing off like the buffs on the Chimera. Ultimate form, if he gets his speed up before you put the block boss from Lydia, or the Viper form when he steals your boss when you opens up, if you make a mistake there as well. So there are the 2 ways that you can do. Again, once I can change the blessing on Marius, and I probably would get more damage overall as well. We have very good a banner here. Well, I say fairly good. It's okay, right, for a Merciless one. We have accuracy and defense here. I would prefer probably defense in future. Then we have the critical damage with critical damage amulet. The accuracy, the resistance makes me want to cry, if I'm being honest, but accuracy is okay. Then we have defense ring with defense substat, which is pretty fairly good. Then we have speed boots with a defense substat as well. And then we have defense chest with defense ascension. And then we're looking for speed, critical rate, and accuracy if we can get it as a bonus. Then we got critical damage with the speed as well. I would not be running this in live arena, by the way. Don't do it to yourself, right? Then we've got the speed substat here with critical rate, critical damage along the top. It has attack ascension, but I think that's from Rodus, from a P versus P build, and you guys know I always prioritize the P versus P. So we have got the cat gaze going on. So we got a extra 16% ignore defense. I will probably be the first one I'll push for the level 4, if I'm being honest, which would be pretty nice. And one day we'll get extra defense as well. Obviously for gemstones, we're actually using the wearer deals 10% more damage at 2 bosses. with that one. And then when using multiple skill hits, each consistently hit after the first hit of the wearer makes it deal with 3% more damage. I think this works for Arena. I don't think it works in Chimera because I don't think it can increase the enemy max HP damage on A2, but let me know down in the description if it does or not. I'm kind of curious if anyone has tested that or actually knows that. Increases the wearer's critical damage for 10% for each enemy. Those have HP at under 50% or lower. This is going to be a big gemstone as well because extra 10% critical damage is massive for the build, and again, probably not the best one if I'm being honest. I think the only way I can really make this build any better is by changing the blessing and maybe the masteries, because the masteries again are focused at P versus P as well. I might actually decide to change them up at some point, just start coming down here, because I don't feel like I'm using armads as much as I should be as well. And that might be something that we'll look at in the future. I guess the only upgrades then I have for this build going forward, because you can't upgrade the gemstones, would be the triangular ones, right? Which I guess the only ones that would make sense for me to really have would be this wearer has this wearer has a 8% chance to gain an extra turn after killing an enemy. This would be good for P versus P, but not for P versus E. This wearer deals 50% more damage when counter-attacking. We don't really use counterattack on the... I mean, great for low arena. It wouldn't be good for Chimera, I don't think. Maybe it would increase his damage when he flips forms, but I think that's about it, and I can't see it being that much because it wouldn't have defense down or weaken. Could be an interesting one for sure. Then we have after killing an enemy, that's for P versus P. We have spoke about this one already. When using multiple consistent hits, after the first one will make the wearer. That could be an interesting one as well. Extra ignore defense of 5%. That could stack for 10% as well. The wearer has a 8% chance to reset the skill cooldown if it kills an enemy, which is P versus P. So I guess it's pretty much the only one. Maybe there is one here where you get extra damage for extra accuracy. So if I get them to 400 accuracy because I'll level 5 blessing in the future, potentially this could add another 4% damage to my build, potentially, which I wonder if that would work with the A2 because enemy max HP ability. But I guess that's about it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoy it. I will be dropping a live arena video at some point down today, talking about Fabian and showing Fabian off in live arena. So go ahead and check that out. And that's about it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the boss slayer. And as usual, I appreciate you guys watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I've been Grim. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.